Hi everyone, Sandman here. Today's video is brought to you by a donation from Tom, and here's what he has to say. Hi again, Sandman. I hear that many red pillars, when coming to understand female nature, actually become happy. It is the opposite for me, and I see that I'm not the only one. Take a look at this video called The Red Pill Malaise by Stardust to see a very accurate description of what my life is like now. Although in the last 2 weeks I'm beginning to redefine my life. To see that I'm just a utility in women's eyes while they're actually pretending it's the other way around and blatantly lying about it has basically woken me up. And I'm also waking up to this idea that I spent the first 46 years of my life defending women and white knighting, and all of this made me enter a depression that made me pick up smoking as well as quitting my job and working out. You couldn't believe how my life has changed in the last 3 months. I now hate women the same way that you described in your earlier video. I don't want to look at them, and I don't want to help them anymore. I don't greet them, and I never even smile at them. The result is that they're now more flirtatious, more polite, and more worried about my well-being. And I know this is false, and I hate them for it even more. I'm trying to pick up the pieces, and I'm hoping that you can give those of us that are actually trying to find out what my point of existing is, because I'm not the only one. And I'm sorry to say that it doesn't help me by saying that you can go travel and explore space or find a hobby, because I've done all of that and I have too many hobbies that I was deeply invested in. But the point is that the red pill malaise has gotten to me, and I have no sense of joy anymore. Nothing. Can you imagine Morpheus telling Neo, depicted in the movie The Matrix, after he's waking up, to just forget about it and go and have some fun? Mr. Reagan in that movie even conspired to take the blue pill and remember nothing. Nothing, I say. Much like the movie The Matrix, everything has become completely gray, and the sky is charcoal, and I don't even see the sun anymore, figuratively speaking. But that's just how I feel inside. I used to love the sunshine on my face, but I feel nothing anymore. I tried putting on a comedy series, Seinfeld, which has always made me in a good mood, but to no avail. All I see is Elaine in hypergamy and feminism. Remember that I have 20 plus years of anti-feminist experience, so to speak, so I know about all the lies and hate towards men. I just didn't think about female hatred of men as biological, although I was reading deeply into female brain patterns and biology. And Sandman, you once said that you don't get angry at sharks for eating seals. Neither do I, nor does it make me depressed. But sharks are not in my neighborhood, in my courtroom, in the police station, in the government, making laws and openly hating men in the media. If they could leave me/us alone, I wouldn't bother. Then women could live in their grass huts, paraphrasing Camille Paglia, and wither slowly away since women only accomplish something out of spite. Then you kind of start to hate them even though it's biology. I don't give a rat's ass if it's biology. I also have strong biological urges and biological challenges, but I studied them, became aware of them, and took responsibility for them. I know and have experienced that women are completely unable to do so, and they always will be. And I want women to do the same. But since they're unable to, I hate them. Of course, what else could I do? If their biology was made to leave us men alone, I would basically not hate them. I'm not giving up on this stupid idea among MGTOWs that the shark analogy explains everything. Sharks leave us alone. As long as we keep doing that, they can eat as many seals they want for all I care. The same with women. I don't care how many hypergamous, disloyal, cheatful, hateful, and destructive women there are, as long as they're not doing it in my world, my society, my neighborhood, and my relationship, I'm fine. If they do, then I get mad. If we could fly them off into space and let them have their own destructive society with their male feminist white knights, I wouldn't care. Please, the analogy is incredibly stupid with regards to sharks. But worse than that, the analogy is making newly awakened MGTOW men think that they're crazy yet again. Stem cell technology and sex robots will eventually, hopefully one day, rid the world of women. I noticed that women are very fearful of the robot society, and this gives me some hope. I've always dreamed of it since ELO came up with the album Time, since I was in my pre-teens. You should read the text of their song 2095, Yours Truly. Sort of like an early MGTOW thing there. Stem cell technology can also be used to rid the world of men. But people who say this are missing the point. With women leading the world in science without men to keep evolving, it's society that'll basically crumble. Because women will sooner or later go over the top and believe that they can do everything without men. Good luck, chicks. I don't understand how MGTOWs can just say it's their nature and go about their lives, even when this nature that is now defining society is so incredibly stupid, and will define society increasingly in the future. And remember, this is meant to be an input and constructive criticism. I also become calmer and sometimes a little bit happy and hopeful for a few seconds when I listen to your videos. Keep up the good work, Sandman. Well, Tom, thanks for your donation as well as your emotionally charged comments. The reason you're calmer listening to my videos, as well as many others, is because it's new knowledge about female nature, and I'm breaking it down one piece at a time, or putting a new spin on old information. We can't take everything we know about female nature and consciously analyze it in our brains at the same time to reach what I call the aha moment where everything clicks. We aren't computers. So we have to keep beating our subconscious mind down all the time with conscious ideas regarding female nature. That's why daily doses are important. Those few seconds of calm that you feel for me is extended for roughly 4.5 hours that it takes me to produce one of these videos. I'm literally addicted to making this type of content. So much so that I actually want to produce more than one video per day. Also in my daily life I find that a combination of things, travel, music, pornography, good food, and a good job or business all build tiny bits of happiness one layer over the other to create my happy mood. Or on the flip side, you could basically get a woman to fill that void instead. Almost all of it. Either you filled that void from your personal development and discovery work on your side of the equation, or you start to date again. You really have two choices. But I know that since you become fully absorbed with the reality of female nature, that's not going to happen. So you basically have to do the development work. While writing this response to you, I looked at a map of the United States and said, oh my god, I saw about 1/6 of the United States in about 2.5 weeks last month. If I spend 5 years of strategic travel, I can basically see all of America, Canada, Japan, Europe, as well as Australia. All because I don't have a bitch attached to my hip and I can do it all my own way. So you basically have to look at life differently. Food doesn't taste the same, and it's not supposed to. Freedom from the gynocracy tastes like plastic because you've never tasted freedom before. You have to retrain your taste buds. But thankfully you aren't in one of those cheaper-to-keeper relationships where either you leave and your life is over, or you stay and your life is over as well. Look for the experiences that transcend time and space and find meaning in those. Just because they can't be explained using today's science doesn't mean that you don't have the scientific explanation to prove them. For me to get over the red pill rage and knowledge, I've become a workaholic as well as really tough on myself to succeed in life and expecting the very best from myself. I hold myself to a higher standard than any woman ever has. I've also learned from a few short relationships last year that sex and intimacy make me a lesser man. They do the same for my father with regards to his hopes, dreams, and personal accomplishments, although I think he gave up on life a long time ago. With my brother it's pretty much the same way. Gaining intimacy and love seem to slow him down and make him softer, and he accomplishes a lot less and basically is a lot less motivated. And women do the same thing to me. Perhaps it's part of our genetic makeup, I'm not sure. But I do know that riding solo for life is something that makes me happy. Yes, I see crazy women around me trying to take advantage of myself, especially my clients. And I was dealing with one today that didn't actually want to pay me properly for my time. But I won't let her abuse me, even if I actually have to be out a few $100. For me, learning about female nature has been the missing piece and key to my happiness and personal growth. I now simply see women as systems of control and obstacles. The moment I see a woman trying to manipulate me, I'll call her out on it if there's no one else around, or I'll basically leave if I'm going to make a scene. With regards to learning about female nature, it's true that some men can't recover from that. And it's like learning that there's no Santa Claus, or possibly like there's no woman god for you to worship. If you can't worship the golden vagina because you've learned about its secrets, then there's nothing left to live for. That's how some people think. I know many guys that are like that, and many of them are simply hopeless manginas. The only thing they seem to have going in their life is a woman's love. The biggest problem in my life is that I actually wanted to be more than just a provider protector. And the love I had with women basically slowed me down to get all the things that I would basically dream about that I wasn't accomplishing. Now that I'm accomplishing everything I wanted and more, I'm not fantasizing about women's love. Instead, I'm fantasizing about accomplishing more and more than I ever have. Living my life to the fullest. I guess I'm one of the few men that Stardust was talking about when he said that some men get more motivated than ever when they realize the red pill. So I would count myself very lucky to be part of that small minority. Tom, you also mentioned that you see yourself as just a utility for women. Remember Neo in the Matrix films. His character could have just seen himself as a battery for the machines, but he didn't. He rose above the machines as well as the agents. Morpheus didn't tell Neo to wake up and have some fun. He told him that he was the one. Morpheus gave Neo the new purpose by ripping apart the old one. So you see, Tom, only you can define your own purpose in life. It's a scary thing, but you have to look deep down inside of yourself, find the smallest thing that makes you happy, and basically magnify it. You say that the world is gray and you feel absolutely nothing. And the same is generally true for me, but every so often something unexpected happens and I feel once again. It's not as intense as before I learned the truth, but it's there and it makes me happy. That's what I chase today. Yes, Tom, you spent 46 years defending and loving women, and now your purpose is gone. I spent 35 years doing the same thing as well. The difference is I think you actually found your life purpose in women and I didn't. So now you must find a new purpose outside of them. You've only been feeling like this for 3 months, so basically give it some time. When I learned about how governments and corporations control our lives, to the fullest extent I stopped cutting my hair, working out, eating healthy, and caring about my life. I was depressed for about a couple of years in my early 20s. This is normal after such a big realization. What you could be experiencing is just your first real existential crisis in life. If it's the first one, then it'll destroy your motivation. But if it's your fourth or fifth, then you basically learned how to bounce back a lot faster. There's also a famous quote by Friedrich Nietzsche, and here's what he has to say, and I quote, "To those human beings who are any concern to myself, I wish suffering, desolation, sickness, and ill treatment. Indignities I wish that they should not remain unfamiliar with, profound self-contempt and torture of self-mistrust, the wretchedness of the vanquished. I have no pity for them, because I wish them the only thing that can prove today whether one is worth anything or not, that one endures." So you see, Tom, that's what life's all about, dealing with crisis after crisis and bouncing back stronger than ever. When I learned about capitalism and how the corporate media and its controllers work to control me, it absolutely depressed me. Learning about peak oil did the same thing. Also, figuring out how the money system works demotivated me because I learned that money can be inflated away in a second. So what was the point of making the money in the first place if it could just be destroyed by a keystroke? I got angry at corporations and started making money off their content and stealing from them. I got upset at energy scarcity and basically started to join groups to learn how to become more self-sufficient. I got upset at the money system, so I diversified into precious metals, cash, bitcoins, real estate, etc. If the system tried to wipe me out, I wouldn't be destroyed completely, so I could always bounce back. When I learned about female nature, I decided to work the problem. I became an MRA until I realized that that was pointless as well. Now it's MGTOW content. I've taken my depressing realizations about female nature and have turned it into something that re-energizes me, instead of draining me. My pattern is to take negatives and turn them into positives. Interacting with women is increasingly boring and predictable now. So you need to wait a few years and you'll probably be completely bored of women as well, and you'll have something else to make you feel good. I hope that helps you a little bit, Tom, so let me know. As for everyone else out there, please follow me on Twitter or like me on Facebook to get tomorrow's video today. Thanks for taking your daily dose of red pills. And remember, a red pill a day keeps the red pill malaise away. So enjoy the rest of your day.